Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Since morning, you have heard a lot about drones as well as quantum now, and I am still required to tell you something new. So this is from Synergy Quantum. This is Bharat's own quantum secure drone network. And, briefly I'll tell you, what we stand for, what we are trying to solve, and how we plan to solve it. So this is, before that, what am I kind of doing here? Relatively older guy and not a scientist, but still talking about quantum. So the thing is that I may not know the technology very well or very deeply, but I know the system. It's like saying that I don't know medicine, but still when I go to a doctor, he asks me, are you allergic to any medicine? Because I know my system well, and I know what suits me, what doesn't suit me. So from that point of view, having served, almost 40 years in the services and dealt with the threats day in and day out, I know that what, is the system. And it's very briefly, what the company believes in. They say cybersecurity is a matter of concern, and ultimately we believe in impacting the world, not like an asteroid, but in a more meaningful way. And company always wants you to tell something about company. Incubated, founded in 2018, incubated at very prestigious institutions, and it has got a proprietary suite, military grade. And core expertise is post-quantum encryption, quantum key distribution, and quantum communication infrastructure. I just quickly want you to take to the meaningful matters, so I'm just rushing through his very obvious things. Use of drones. Since morning you have been hearing about how drones can be used, where they can be used. I will just wish to make few points, that under all these requirements, your military, border patrol, disaster response, agriculture, logistics, nobody will interfere probably with your disaster response, agriculture or logistics, but where it will interfere is with your military and border patrol, we heard since morning. So it's a national security issue. And if the drones are going to be used for real-time intelligence gathering, now emphasis on real-time intelligence gathering, mission surveillance, etc., and payload delivery in high-risk zones, their ability to function in remote, hazardous, or enemy-controlled environments, makes them a powerful asset. And they become increasingly essential in defense and surveillance system. So the security of communication and controls, system becomes very critically important. And I would want to say that all drones are not simply expendable. What has happened is over a period of time, drones have come to be synonymous with that, okay, you launch any number and even if they don't come back, doesn't really matter. The point here is that communication in drones is important. Now, if a drone, let's say there is a drone or there is a UAV system which is guiding my 10 aircraft, 12 aircraft or 20 aircraft strike, providing it real-time intelligence over a time-sensitive target, can I afford to lose that drone? Can I afford to lose communication with that drone? Okay, and if a drone particularly is going to deliver a payload ahead of my main strike, which is going to destroy a sensor, a radar or something, then can I afford to lose that drone? So it is not that, because your whole mission will be jeopardized. So what happens is you talk of swarm drones. We probably feel that swarm is a lot of drones. You go. So it is not that if there are 100 drones, even if you lose 10 out of them, it doesn't matter. No, I mean they are communicating with each other. You saw the pictures, them going through the trees, going through mountains. I mean, how are they managing that kind of configuration in case there is no communication between them? So if they are communicating to each other, then can you afford to lose that communication? Okay. Or we are talking of a MUMTI, our CAT system. Now, how is MUMTI operating? There is a mother aircraft and there are those unmanned platforms. How is this mother aircraft controlling those platforms if it is not communicating with them? It is continuously communicating with them. So if the whole system depends on this manned and unmanned teaming, which ultimately depends on the communication between them, then can you afford to lose that communication? So the whole sense is that how do you secure this communication? So here are a few vulnerabilities, the threat landscape as we call it, and I would just highlight that it's a question of mission compromise, mission sabotage, and mission degradation. And ultimately, it is the mission integrity, data security, and operational trust, especially in national defense. So rest of, the material is kind of self-explanatory, so I have skipped that, highlighting the essence of it. So what does Synergy Quantum do? They are giving you a hybrid key infrastructure for, unbreakable security. And how does it do this dynamic hybrid key generation is combining the PQC and QKD. Okay, now PQC, post-quantum cryptography, you are familiar, this audience, I would understand that we are looking at that when quantum computers become a reality, they will be able to run your Shor's algorithm, so to say, which can break your RSA protocols. So now if you have to secure that kind of stuff, then QKD and PQC, they are combining as a hybrid system, because take a QKD, we talked, not much has been spoken. Quantum key distribution is a way to communicate, and the strength of it is that they say this photon entanglement or whatever takes place, that if there is a waste dropping, you will come to know that, photon will change its character, and when the recipient will come to know that, oh, this communication has been, a waste dropped, or the communication will break itself. Now, agreed that an waste dropper does not get to know what is being communicated, but the problem is, so do I, do not come to know that what is being communicated, because the communication is breaking. You are not allowing the communication to go through. So is that a happy situation? I am not allowing anybody to see or hear my communication, but even I can't hear it. So what do? I need to have a system where even in the instances where QKD is compromised, QKD is essentially not compromised only by waste dropping, it is compromised even by atmospheric conditions. You do not have, you have some abnormalities in the atmosphere, even there it will get compromised. So in case it gets compromised, do I stop communicating or do I still have a way of communicating? So now what happens is, when you combine this PQC with QKD, you are able to generate a hybrid key, which is, like 1 plus 1, 11 like, because it also increases the key rate at the same time giving you redundancy in communication. And quantum secure VPN tunnel, you must have read that it provides a safe passage. So there is encrypted uplink and downlink telemetry, and there is a secure command and control payload which is generated. So PQC based digital signature authenticates and verify all command and control, that guarantee trusted ground-based things. So how this happens is, there is a secure communication and real-time link management, and most important, zero trust UAV network architecture. Now, just a line on zero trust. What is zero trust? Means it is, I receive some information, onus of identifying authenticity of it should not be over me, with me. It should be with the sender. So it's like, old timers, someone sending a runner with an information or a piece of paper. When I receive it, it should not be for me to identify, is this runner, valid or not valid. This should have been identified by the sender. So similarly, while the company ensuring zero trust protocol gives you 100% trustworthiness, and mobile quantum secure key exchange, of course, is another offshoot. So what does it give you, Bharat Q drone? It is an ultra compact, quantum communication payload, less than 5 kg, meeting your swap requirements. Hybrid quantum cryptography I have covered already. So it's a quantum secure hack proof data transfer, from drone to drone and drone to multiple ground stations, and drone compatible entangled photon source, for free space. QKD enables real time quantum key exchange. And this is quantum payload on drone or ground stations, and precision tracking and alignment. I quickly wish to come to the real matter. Now here what you see is there is a ground station and a drone. So what is going to happen is there is an RF channel, which is communicating, and there is a quantum channel for the quantum communication, and this optical link is what is going to give you APT, that is your alignment, pointing and tracking. That is, the communication is maintained with the drone continuously. Now it is easier to maintain, communication with a stationary ground station and one drone. And what do you achieve by that? You achieve secure, temper, resistant and quantum resilient network. And let me now come to the diagram, just 2 slides more. What does it show here? That by employing drone and doing this communication that I've explained, you can eventually increase the range of QKD. What we are trying to, fiber-based QKD, you say 1 kilometer, now 100 kilometer or 1000 kilometers you are employing. But if you achieve this drone-based free space communication quantum, depending on height of the drone, you can actually increase the virtual range of QKD. And this is, it gives you safe, secure and efficient communication. And the point that I wish to make is that, that in case you are able to do this between 2 drones also, drone to drone, both are mobile platforms. It may be a little difficult, but if you are able to achieve that, you can surmount, you can, do away with the in between secure that ground station. Also, the terrain I have tried to depict here, it's 2 things. That one is that obstructions may not allow you line of sight, and secondly, it may be very difficult to lay the fiber kind of cables or, network in that terrain, and especially if the battlefront is moving forward and formations are moving, how are you going to lay the, fiber optics for your QKD from place A to place B? So with this kind of architecture, it provides you a feasibility that you are able to communicate or, get that communication between these terrains. So with the result, this is what you get. It's just a summary of all that I have covered. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Jai Hind.